shadow box illusion ideas. The Copperfield Imploding Explosive Encounter CBS special, Building Secret, that with Jesus Christ, Lord Savior God, all capitals, helped me realize that the person going into the side open van door was Copperfield's look-alike, Christopher Hart, illusionist. But camera helicopter crew are saying it's Copperfield getting in there. That's the perfect misdirection. So when Copperfield Dunn got out there a long way before that, because it makes it like he just now escaped 1 minute before the building explode. It's perfect time misdirection. Ice nice no in perspective view. Help God, Jesus Christ, Lord Savior God, helped me realize that person going into side open van door was Copperfield's look-alike, Christopher Hart illusionist. That way, it gives born-again Christian illusionist David Sitcotkin, Jewish-born Copperfield, enough time to magically appear on steel-thin platform under orange sheet with a big black X on it. It's called isolation of interest, perspective views, time misdirection. Use Guy Kramer's bending line invisibility nanobots, metamaterials, and 3D cloaking combination, or a special glass that bends light around it. When you stick a pencil, the light bends. Like I tell everyone, even Jacob. My science teacher, when I was in public school, noticed that every day I would look at that science book and stare at that pencil in the water, just bending. Even though it's not bending, it's an optical illusion. So one day, after several days watching me do that, Mr. Brian, science teacher, said, "Bill, I notice you're looking at that picture all the time. Is there a reason?" I said, "Yeah, there's something there. I can't get it in my mind, but there's something. It's something. I just can't get it. I know there's something there, something to do with the light, and the lights bend. Something. I just can't get it." And now, years later on YouTube, a guy called Guy Kramer, look him up on YouTube, Guy Kramer, Hyper Stealth Corp. He's cracked the code, and now the military want it. Perfect cloaking that you hide yourself, a tank, an airplane, a building, and other uses to make the object itself invisible, and it looks like, and you really, not doesn't look like, but you are seeing the back, because what's in front of you, you see all around, and you see the back. You're really seeing the back. You're not seeing an illusion of the back, because a long time ago, a magician would use mirrors at a 45-degree angle or other angles, but what it would do, it would reflect what's in front, but the front would have to match the back. So it looks like you're seeing the back, but it's an optical illusion, the way the mirrors are at a 45-degree angle or other angles, and it looks like you're seeing the back. But now that Guy Kramer's got this bending light invisibility cloaking added with the Google 3D cloaking, you got perfect cloaking technology like the Romulan ship on Star Trek, and Star Trek itself, and the Harry Potter cloak. I mean, you wouldn't have to do special effects. You could really do it. Anyway, and every time I talk about this, Paul Taylor, all the teens, they say, "Hey, that would be good to sneak in the girls' locker room." I go, "You guys, you got your head in the gutter. I think stage illusions." They say, "Yeah, Bill, that's you, but we think of other things." Man, I try to think of illusions with it, making planes vanish in broad daylight, make buildings vanish and reappear, and and the other, everyone else has got their head in the gutter. No offense to them, but my mind doesn't think like that. Mine thinks about stage illusions, close-up, parlor. I mean, I walk into a store and I think of ideas of a a mirror or a glass that bends, a spandex sheet to make someone appear on a picnic table. Well, you get the idea. At trick, a lot of times at my parents' house, I would hand out candy, 2 pieces, and all that stuff. And I'd write down the time that they came and all that. And I'd hand out sewing tracks. And I did it at the Story's house for a while. But there's hardly trick-or-treaters that come around houses anymore. God's right around the corner, closer than you think, as Tom Crow and Ron Comfort's In Time Mention it says. Anyway, I hand them sewing tracks along with 2 pieces of candy in their bag, or a plastic pumpkin candy holder, and write down on white and blue lined school paper how many trick-or-treaters came in that time group, and write the time, hour, minute, and second in each group. And Mrs. Hall, she said, "Oh, let you come over my way. You could have had a food day." We had a lot of trick-or-treaters. She's one of our substitute teachers a long time ago. But anyway, I saw her at Food Line one time, but I wanted to say hi to her, but Tommy told me to stay in the checkout line. And then next you know, Tommy says, "Let's go." And then, I don't know, I bet she's wondering, why did I wait all that time? And she's waiting and wasting her time. And then when I went to go chase her down, she done vanished. Anyway, well, hopefully I'll find her on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, or run into her in person again. Anyway, she's a born-again Christian, so I know I'll see her in heaven. Anyway, many trick-or-treaters came in that time group, and write the time, hour, minute, and second in each group. P.S. One time, 2 teen boys I knew that's still at the age to go trick-or-treating, they said, "Trick-or-treat." Then I said, "Hi, Chris Huddle and Aaron." And they said, "Bill, how did you know it was us again, but different outfits on?" Then I said, "I'm an illusionist magician. I know what to look for." Then they said, "Oh, yeah, that's right." Yeah. Cool. Thanks. P.S. For example, Copperfield switched places with the guy with the white worker helmet, the video cameraman zooming out as everyone's going down the cement stair steps on CBS The Magic of David Copperfield, the explosive encounter special. Escapes out of safe in the Charlotte Hotel building before it blows up, blow down or implode the building. Copperfield was behind the video cameraman as it showed all angles. That's where Copperfield stays, behind that cement pole, and as guy with the white helmet on goes behind the pole, he stays and Copperfield goes with everyone else. P.S. All crew workers, street workers, running, and one guy in the back of the huddle like bowling pins keeps looking back at the building, then turns around running with everyone else. Then they go TV stage left side, and guy with the white helmet with brown outfit on runs to TV stage right like he's about to change from Clark Kent Superman idea concepts. Then he magically appears on standstill platform under orange sheet with black X mark in the middle of orange sheet like Gorpy Ghost Illusion idea concept with wire inside hooks to wires. Ralph Adams, A Lifetime in Magic Book and Videos combo with a Ford by Harry Blackstone Jr. on the black art lighting schemes with black lights, dead black against dead black as absent a shadow. Anything bright colors stand out, even neon colors. P.S. Back to Copperfield Thin Steel platform. Either under the 2 worker sawhorses has a roller shade mirror, or a solid mirror at angles, or a quantum stealth bending light invisibly nanobots metamaterials, Guy Kramer Hyperstealth Corp, and Google 3D Glass. P.S. And Copperfield's look-alike, Christopher Hart goes in open side door van, and escapes from safe playing as Copper's hands trying to pull chains in to get to the lock. Then Wire moves the chain up and down so Copper's look-alike Christopher Hart can make a clean getaway. P.S. Christopher Hart's double for illusionist David Copperfield, Hitchcock and Jewish Christian illusionist Copperfield. He also plays the hand named Thing in the live-action movies The Addams Family. Plus, he advanced the zombie floating ball illusion ideas concept by using a hand idea. Look in YouTube video search engines. And the two safes, there were two different locations in that building. When you were seeing that small video footage, people think it's pre-recorded. No, there's another safe in there. That's Christopher Hart playing the hands. Copper's done got out of the safe that we see. That's the reason why the policemen don't seem to look like they're in the same position and the chain is not in the right angle. And Chris Angel did something similar to a floating building. He escaped. He made it like he was going to escape and then get into a helicopter and take off. But something went wrong, and the building's about to blow up, so the helicopter leaves, and then the building implodes, and you think he didn't make it, but then out of the crushed rubble comes Chris Angel, all dusty and everything, like Copperfield, exhausted, but a cameraman caught behind the scenes and saw him in another location of another building, and him crossing over to the place where it was all messed up. So it's not pre-recorded video, it's just being in a different location. Like the Statue of Liberty event, there's two different areas. One with the statue, one without the statue, just with the duplicate ring of lights right next to it. Let's see. Let's see. Like I was trying to cut and paste. Use a large Lazy Susan turntable with silent ball bearings, a tree bush, and video game animation radar screen to show Statue of Liberty location like a GPS device, and add smoke machine bright General Electric lights on two towers to night blind the audience for a few minutes so you can't see a now darkened Statue of Liberty, because they turned the lights off and turned the ring of lights around the Statue of Liberty off, and in the crown of Liberty a black light, and put duplicate ring of lights a few feet from the Statue of Liberty minus the Statue of Liberty, and sheet drops not all the way to hide reference points, and watch the radar black rim to General Electric lights or lights behind them are reflecting on the black radar rim like a sundial effect. You see turntable movement. Plus Pan Am helicopter pilot said turntable and quiet ball bearings. And he moved in sync with the turntable and Liberty right behind, and the Statue of Liberty is right behind one of the towers of lights. From our TV left side, but to the helicopter view it would be his right side. And Ed Alonzo, comedy illusionist for even on Saved by the Bell TV show, illusionist, said turntable, and he also does Masters of Illusion too. Said turntable. He helped raise and lower the white sheet with the other illusionist helper. Said turntable. He helped raise and lower the white sheet, and Park Ranger said turntable. Plus he made a model of it. Penn Russell said turntable. Chuck Winley said turntable. The Batmobile turntable idea. Herbert Lawrence Becker on YouTube said turntable, and in his books, More Magic Secrets. Copperfield Target commercial shows like a turntable. And my dad said, see, that's what I like about people. They can laugh at their situation. And one Japan or China YouTube channel shows raise the platform higher up like Franz Harari does in night and daytime illusion. Sun meets the horizon. Penn and Teller off the deep end TV special. Penn Russell said Siegfried and Roy used turntable for Walt Disney Magic Castle Vantage. Lance Burton, Valentino Luna Montana, the Masked Magician. Jim Steinmeier conceived the best way. Don Wayne, illusion builder, said during rehearsal the way we moved things, our calculation was off, and the arm of the statue was still showing. So Copper added more sheet cloth. John Gunn, illusion builder, built the illusion, and Andre Cole, Mark Wilson, plus the ladies were there to give the Kodak Polaroid cameras enough shutter light at 100 yards to not see a darkened statue of Liberty. P.S. Church member Troy Sombers said, "That's correct. He's P.S. He's a good camera photographer, even for our church photographer at one time. He's a military photographer. He would know." And youth worker Mark Taylor, our classic Joker clown, said, "Boy, Copperwood's clever." And I said, "Yeah." Plus everyone behind the scenes helping. You're 0-16 in a blink of an eye to the songs Pet Shop Boys, One More Chance at Chrysler Hall, and for the Explosive Encounter CBS Copperfield special. And then later on America's Got Talent, he did another music for the Harley Davidson motorcycle. But now he calls it Harley's Ghost. But even Copperfield said it was it's a shadow box. And if you watch Valentino and Tony Hassini, they explain how the shadow box works. It says, "You're completely right. If I take Copperfield's shadow box motorcycle appearance as an example, it shows us that he uses some subtlety to show that nothing is hidden behind the back panel by seeing the light rays of the assistant lamps through it. As Jim Steinmeier stated in Device and Illusion, an illusion will never be perfect. To get close to perfection, you need to lead the audience thoughts to the points that there's no possibility to do so, and this is by leading them away from the method you use as far as possible." I agree 100%. NASA thin, clear, strong wires, and put blue gel in the floodlights. Use gun bluing solution rubbed on the wires. Plus, David Sitcock and Copperfield's dad Highcock came up with the revolving two hoops together, and Copperfield is so happy that his dad came up with that. Great minds think alike. Two hoops together to revolve around his son, David Sitcock and Copperfield, like Peter Pan, play like Peter Pan. Plus Copperfield got help from Christopher Reeve, Superman, on the takeoff and landing. Copperfield plus NASA's swimming pool to get to feel a weightlessness. It took over 7 years to perfect that, I think. John Gunn took an old illusion and added computer technology and weights to it. David Sitcock and Copperfield, two illusionist crew guys, two hoop pass around. Copperfield idea concept also avoid the wires, and Abbott's Super X levitation board plus dancing scarves and clear jar bottle like Ralph Adams, Douglas James Henning, David Copperfield, Dick Clark on Circus of the Stars, plus Harry Blackstone Jr. and one of his daughters also, and I'm sure more illusionists also. Oh yeah, and Chris Angel. And David Copperfield dancing and singing tie and put inside glass rectangle box is same idea concept when Copperfield lowered on wires inside a larger version of a clear rectangle box. And he and Lady Illusionist Joni Spinya mirror walk with each other. Joni Spinya, Lady Illusionist choreographer, and then sometimes she's mainly in the illusions. Joni Spinya mirror walk with each other, and he floats inside the clear box and floats a lady in his arms. Then hands her a rose, and he flies off with the falcon bird named Icarus. Plus, use hurricane fan and tiny bits of mirrors on blue curtains, and use lighting schemes and Copperfield for dancing tie Use same drum beat like Ricky Ricardo on TV show series episode I Love Lucy. I got the complete collection of I Love Lucy, and on DVD. And Copperfield learned to land and take off in the air from actor Christopher Reeve. He understands flight not only as Clark Kent Superman, but he flies glider planes and rides horses, and Copperfield got to feel a weightlessness from NASA's special swimming pool. And it took Copperfield and his illusion crew helpers 7 years to fly like Peter Pan, and illusionist builder John Gahn took an old principle and added high-tech computers in Copperfield for his TV special, and in at Chrysler Hall too, for his TV special, the ending, Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia, for his, when he used to tour a lot, for his TV special, the ending credits, he walks out of the music building, music band talking, then he flies off in the air as everyone's walking to their cars in the parking lot, and Falconbird Egerus flies off with him at night. P.S. That part, the folks are told to not look, just keep walking. P.S. That part, information is in the Genie magazine long ago. P.S. Everyone wanted to know how all of flying like Peter Pan, David Copperfield style was done. So I pray to Jesus this helps everyone out. Be safe in Christ. John 3:16. God bless. Anything else? Okay. Trying to find. It could be the guy on the left in blue jacket, head down, running fast. It could be illusionist David C. Cochran Copperfield. That would work, but my idea cons are two safes in two different locations in the Charlotte Hotel building. That's why the video feed doesn't match up. And the person pulling on the chain is illusionist Christopher Hart. He doubles in Copperfield's illusion idea concepts. Even the Great Wall of China wall illusions and the transporting to the torch of the Statue of Liberty waving on CBS The Magic David Copperfield 5 5th TV special. P.S. He, Christopher Hart, is seen running a minute before building implodes, and he goes in a white open side van truck, and they drive quick, and later on Copperfield appearance on still thin platform on worker sawhorses. My guess, mirror or mirrors or roller shade mirrors or glass that bends light around an object. Guy Kramer, Hyperstealth Corp, bending light, invisibly nanobots, metamaterials, and Copperfield switch places with Mark Lozanik, Loisesaux, demolition expert, and everyone runs to TV left, and he runs to TV right side like Clark Kent Superman. Yep, at Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia, the sound wasn't working right, then music wrong one, then the right one. A kid pulls ghost sheet and the balcony, and crew come out of side secret doors to haul ghost sheet back in place on wire tracks again, and Shadowbox people appeared, didn't quite so go right. The cocoon was tilted, and Dave Duncan noticed that too. And Copperfield looked in the audience like, this is just not my day. P.S. We all stood up and gave him and his crew, losing crew, a standing ovation, because we understand. And Copperfield said, you know, I could take you all on the road. Back in the days, in the 1980s on up, I would hand out two I mentioned that already. Thanks, I'm only smart because Jesus helped me to be smart in ways that most don't understand. P.S. Even my other cool nephew, who's older, Eugene Smith III, Raymond Eugene Smith III, and my other cool nephew, who's younger, William Marcel Page, and my older niece, Tony Lynn Parker, and younger niece, Bobby Lynn Page, and my older nephew, Eugene Smith, many years ago when illusionist David C. Cochran, Jewish Christian illusionist Copperfield, always every year Magic appear on stage at Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia, to the song I Wear My Sunglasses by Corey Hart in the Crystal Smoke Chamber, and then later on Magic Copper Ride with Shadowbox Illusion for Eugene, but for us it was Pet Shop Boys, One More Chance. And Norfolk, Virginia, my friends and me, that'd be Michael Klein, Dave Duncan, Matt Galloway, Tommy Story, and Tommy's two nephews, Andy Story and Banshee Bobby Robert Story. Tommy's younger nephew, Thomas Story, never got to see a Copperfield show live. But I made him 6 hours worth of magic, so he knows Copperfield and Doug Henning and all that. Because by the time Thomas got old enough, Copperfield didn't appear at Crush Hall anymore. Norfolk appeared on stage at Crush Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. Bob Schofield took me my first time. The second time he took me, and then his wife Judy came along. Matt Galley and his parents went, and then later on we took Matt with us. And then Matt's parents met us out the door, flashing the light. And Matt said, "Oh, it's my dad flashing the light." I said, "Oh, okay." His mom was there too. And that's when it was snowing, and Jesus let it snow for real. He wanted to add to the magic because it snowed in the theater. And Dave Duncan said when it snowed in the theater, maybe it's all that Clorox commercial they had to get rid of. And one of Copperfield's crew helpers was laughing his head off. I said, "Dave, you just made that guy laugh." We were wearing our Copperfield Dreams and Nightmares hat. Dave was opening up the doors and everything. He was acting like one of the crew guys. It was pretty clever. Anyway, what I was saying, where was I? Jewish Christian leaders Copperfield always, every year, magic appear on stage at Christ Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. Then later on he appeared in the elevator to Phil Collins' Away to My Heart. And then later on, down something, I forgot the guy says, elevator going down. Anyway, Dave Duncan took his girlfriend Amber. She's in heaven now, but and then on the phone we would compare notes because he'd go to the second show and we'd go to the first show. Ted Peterson took his boys to it. They enjoyed it. Everybody I talked to enjoyed watching Copperfield's show. Anyway, Jewish Christian illusionist David Copperfield and his illusion crew. Every year, magic appeared on stage at Crush Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. My friends and me and my nephew and Eugene Smith enjoyed it and enjoyed Eugene Smith as we walked across the street to Tommy Story's silver SUV car. He wanted to know how he did all that. And I said, "Eugene, if you got in my head, you would understand." And Eugene Smith said, "No, Bill, if I got inside your head, I would get lost." And I said, he, funny, Eugene, funny. Then I said, "I will make a video, VHS videotape, 6 hours worth of Illusionist Secrets fun. And after you watch 6 hours worth, you will know how to make buildings vanish and be magically inclined." And he says, "Okay, cool." And I made a friend of his one, and then I made him one. Anyway, and I said, "You're welcome. P.S. Now DVDs came into play, so I make everything on DVD, including for Eugene and his two boys, and everyone in my family tree, and church members, and the Pastor Coles, Pastor Asher. I didn't do Pastor Brown yet, but anyway, I gave every missionary millet, I gave them YouTube videos and all that to advance their knowledge. I said, "You're welcome. P.S. Now there's DVD video recording I made also. My younger cool nephew, William Marcel Page, 6 hours worth of Illusion Secrets fun. Now he's magic inclined. And P.J. Parker, and all the Parkers, and Desiree, and everyone." like Jesus Christ, Lord, Savior, God, all capitals says, freely you have received, freely give. And I shared long before YouTube and Facebook. I shared one-on-one, in person,